So, and here we go on the 6-2 and the 6-3 on the life angle cross of limitation. And we get to the 6-2. Okay, let's go to finish the day on a pleasant note. Let's talk about suicide and depression. We get to the 32-6 tranquility, the need to calmly face impermanence. Everything about the 32 is calming the grips with the fact that you can never be secured that the tribe will survive. There's no point when you can finally say, okay, we're safe. We built this huge wall around us and now we're safe. Only to find out 50 years later that the enemy has cannons and knocks down the walls. And you keep on going. Okay, now we're safe. Except the enemy has airplanes. Now we're safe. Now the enemy has H bombs. Now we're safe. Now the enemy has the internet in my kid's room. Whatever the case may be, we never stop this damn thing. So everything about the 32 that wants everything to be, I want to know the value. I don't want any more sales that's going to make this cheaper. Why don't you stop here at this price? Don't change it. It's going to really piss me off. This is the 32. It's what the 32 always wants to do. The 32 wants to say to the one that's rising up, you're going to be exactly like this. You're going to treat me like this way, even when you pass me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're so annoyed it doesn't turn out that way. They don't like it. It's why I keep saying to these people, don't think that these two gates make a channel. The channel is something else. If the 32 really understood transformation, you'd think it would get depressed. It wouldn't get depressed. It has no idea. It thinks everything needs to be fixed. Instant, fix it. We fix it. It's okay. And what I mean by fix it is not repair it, it's freeze it. So you have all these retros who want to freeze their society in the past, the back to earth pioneer boo boos. An underlying expected acceptance of change that may or not may need lead to tranquility, or when you see Pluto and Neptune during a line, don't even read it. And if you have it, don't pay attention. Talk about helplessness. It's the frying pan onto the fire. It doesn't matter which way you go, you're never going to get it. There are lines like, forget it, impermanence is proof of meaningless. If you can stay in the 12th century, what's the point? I love that depression, delusion, and the extreme self destruction, fear endangered when change is experienced, and impermanence and the potential of depression. This is the sixth line. The sixth line says, let there be peace because I can't stand the noise. And why don't we just freeze everything? Let's make sure that we all just say, okay, we had enough. No more change. There are all kinds of societies like that. You go into Pennsylvania, the Quakers, these people that are living in the 1780s and they're riding buggies. And if you could only stop time, if you could only stop in the movement, everything would be okay. If we only freeze things at a set price, everything would be okay. How that would be and how clear that would be. The tribe is not individual, the tribe isn't mutative. Mutation scares the tribe. The 32nd gate is one of those few tribal gates that gets its experience, the pressure of mutation from the outside, the circumstances around it. These are people who wake up and realize that their village is emptying out because there's no future for the children and they commit suicide. These places that turn into ghost towns because the children don't work in the land anymore. They go into the city to get an education and a job and a future and all these things. You can only calmly face impermanence if you're surrendered. There's no other way. The 32 sixes have very deep concerns in their relationships, and most of it is about whether or not the relationship can be permanent, whether or not the way in which the relationships works can be permanent. These are people who can say, I wish it was like in the first year when we were together, that was perfect. Can we go back to that? Can we rediscover that? That really worked. There's this sense in the 32 that the turning of the wheel only brings more problems. It never brings anything else. And the tribe hates problems. Then we go to the 6-3 on the left angle cross of limitation. When you get to the 6-3, you have the people that can really lose it very early in life. If you can manage it to make it to their past Saturn phases, the roof faces, these are people that put them on them back, that pat them on the back and tell them, well done, you did a good job. Because when you move here, you move from the 32 and you go into the 50th gate, the moment that you're moving towards the 50th gate, you're going to have to face the fact that there are underlying laws that govern everything. There are laws that govern the way in which we deal with the other. And only the 50th gate can see you the and only the 50th can you sense the spleen as a whole and the understanding of the other. When you fuse the instinct, the intuition, and the taste, you bring it together. In the 50th, you get to see something. Change is built into the law. As a matter of fact, If there is no change, there is no development of intelligence. The failure of the tribe, the only failure of the tribe is that it does not embrace change. The joke is that the depth of the tribe is also the embrace of change. There's something that contemplates about the dilemma that we'll face in our worlds now, where tribes are under deep pressure and where we're getting to feel the violent reaction to that. The tribe understands something as well. If you keep on adapting, eventually you become collective. Somewhere down the road, eventually you become collective. All tribes recognize this as they embrace change. So, in fact, there's a real fear in the tribe of extinction. That's why you have tribes. You have a lot of that in Spain, where they desperately are trying to hold on onto their linguistic territory and their integrity because they can see the collective as pulling their children into a much lighter realm. For me, globalization is evidence of the attempt that's taking place in the filtering of consciousness to try to find some whole, to try to find the so called one, the global village, the integrated reality, that non prejudicial collective ideal, the perfection that the collective always seeks, but it does place the tribe under enormous pressure.